have four amazing young men who have played an important part in pulling off, really, the television surprise of the past year. They've been instrumental in making the nostalgic comedy series of the 50s, Happy Days, #1 among all the new television shows. Here's Richie, Fonzie, Ralph, Potsy, they're Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, Danny Most, and Anson Williams. Wait a minute, we need a cleanup.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You guys look like you've really done your show.
Have I got it? All right. You're bad. You really got it bad there.
I must say, when I introduced you, I said Danny. It should have been Donnie.
Donnie.
Sorry about that.
That happens all the time.
I want the gentlemen to introduce themselves while they're taking the lipstick off.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was worth it.
Okay, I'm Anson Williams.
Anson Williams,
Donnie Most.
Donnie Most,
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard, Henry Winkler.
Oh, man.
Help him out there. How am I doing?
Will you keep your mouth closed?
Hey, listen, guys. Things could be worse. You could have tasted the recipe.
I need a fire shooting out.
I want to ask you, how is it? I mean, such a very big show into a new time slot. The show is so successful. It's forced the Maude show into a new time slot, and that's successful because that was one of the top shows.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it really was. We were nervous about going up against Maude. I mean, anytime you're a mid-season replacement, you're going into somebody else's time slot.
That's right.
And Maude, the week before we went on, Maude was like 3rd in the nation, and Adam 12, which was on the other network, was 11th. And everybody was very concerned, but ABC put on a terrific ad campaign, and people watched our show the first week, and we developed an audience. I think we lost 1 week in the ratings. Otherwise, we were first every week.
I don't think the viewers generally know this, but on television, they break down the ratings into what they call demographics. And a very important demographic figure is the 18 to 49 age
Yes,
group.
77% of our audience.
We're 7th in the nation in
77
the 18 to
demographic,
49
that figures. Hey! Ron, you're considered kind of the veteran actor of the group, aren't you? Because I know everybody saw you in American Graffiti.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I've been doing it since 1958.
you were on Andy Griffith's show, too, weren't you?
That started in 60 and ran through 68.
So you grew up on television.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting way to grow up.
Are you the only one of your family who does this sort of thing?
No, my brother is, his name is Lint, and he's been acting since he was 2, and he's 15. And my dad is an actor and a writer. And it's all we ever knew. I started doing scenes with my dad when I was like 2 and a half. He was directing a version of Mr. Roberts, and I used to sit around and watch the rehearsals. I started picking up dialogue, and so we used to do this scene between Roberts and Pulver. And I played Pulver.
Could you talk?
Yeah, I mean, I learned lines, and then we learned other scenes, and we did it for fun. And so when I started doing it when I was like 4, it was just a matter of doing it with other people, and I got a big kick out of it. I liked it. It was fun.
What'd you say? What'd you say in those scenes you did?
Yeah.
And
Do you
well, I
still
used
know
to
it?
say, what do you think of me, Doug? Honestly. No, right here. I got 6 marbles right here. I got another one in my pocket. That makes 7. I've been looking for marbles all day long.
You'll have to understand, Ronnie's really exhausted. I mean,
Look, I want to get your ages, if I may. Anson, you're?
I'm 24.
21.
Just turned.
Last week.
Just turned
21? August 8th?
Birthday.
You're a Leo.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Leo.
I just had a birthday Sunday.
Really? Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
I knew there was something familiar about it. And you're how old?
28.
20,
I'm 28.
28.
Hey, check that. And
How
24.
have you adjusted to this, because on television, it's instant fame. I mean, you do a couple of shows are seen, and the whole world knows you on sight.
Yeah.
You know. How have you adjusted to this?
I'll tell you, I'm 28, right? So it's for 27 and a half years of my life, I have been totally anonymous. I walk down the street and nobody runs up and puts a little cross on my neck or a little ring on my finger, you know. I mean, girls take their jewelry off, give it to you. But, and then the show went on, right? And it was my first series. I've only been out in Hollywood now for 1 month and 10 days, and I got Fonzie on my birthday. So the show went on, and now all of a sudden, 10,000 people in Wanamaker's today, you know. In Boston, we went out, Donnie and I traveled together around the country. 2,200 people. And I asked them to wish Donnie a happy birthday because it was the next day. The roof came in. Yay! That's the greatest thing I ever heard. Oh, but it's nuts because what happened was, and this is the truth, we were in New York. Donnie and I took our parents to dinner, which was a switch because parents always take the kids out to dinner.
That's right.
And now you have all of this 25,000 people in Houston and everything, and you're starting to grow, you know?
Getting much taller, yeah.
I better go to
Gee
the
whiz,
Not
I'm
this short
tall.
anymore, I'll
I'm
tell
John
you.
Wayne.
And then all of a sudden, you looked around, and we looked around, and there were 13 people. Our parents and our sisters were there, and brother-in-law, my little niece Cheryl. And all of a sudden, I realized all we are sons having dinner with our parents, you know, and that everything else is gravy. And the show, everything else is just what we do. But who we are is Henry Winkler, son of Harry and Ilsa, and Donnie Most, son of Mr. and Mrs.
How do you handle, though, Anson and Donnie, the teeny boppers and the little groupies who come around? Seriously.
I'll tell you, I feel it's really a responsibility. I mean, you really have to watch your, watch what you say because, I mean, everything you say is taken like the Bible.
That's right.
And I find that I'd like to get on a human level with the kids. And I try to let them know that, through my experience, that they have, you know, happiness kind of right in their own backyard, family, friends, God, love, and nature. And I try to get away from the groupie bubblegum image and try to get on a more human, personal level.
Yeah,
And
Donnie, how about you?
Well, I'll tell you, I had an experience in Paramus, New Jersey that it was a thriller, I have to tell you. Henry and I, we've been traveling around, and there were a lot of crowds, but when we got to Paramus, we got inside a mall, and they put us with our backs to a fountain, and there had to be over 5,000 people in this shopping mall, and we had nowhere to go, and the crowd was getting a little panicky. And I started to shake. I mean, I was looking around, and my mother was there, and Henry's mother was there, and they're going, wave to the people over there. I go, no, Ma, no, it's going to get them more crazy. I don't want to wave.
What do they want?
I started to shake, and then finally, it was so bizarre, they had to get us out. We couldn't even sign one autograph.
Right. Do you have a little claustrophobia? Because
No,
it sounded like it when you said we were back against.
No, he's just a little nuts.
No, it was scary because
That is really scary.
people started lurching forward, and we had to get out of there. We couldn't sign an autograph, so what we did, there was a layered fountain, 2 stories high. Henry and I had to climb up this fountain on a little perimeter, maybe 3 inches. Up this fountain, it was a scene, because there's water all around us. And there were
Why did
people
you-
screaming.
Oh,
And we
because
climbed
we
up
were
this
crushed.
fountain.
After you?
We had no way of
would've
getting
been
out. There was no route to get out.
It's a hard day's night.
People really don't realize what that's like. That is a frightening experience.
Yeah, but these
They don't
people-
mean anything
No,
by
they
it.
don't.
Oh, I loved you.
They Yeah, but it's really true. I mean, they just want a little piece of everything you've got on.
Well, I'll tell you, in
Give me your
Houston,
dress.
in Houston, we're out all day. It's about 11:30 at night. You're dead tired. I get to my hotel room. I go, good night, guys. I go, good night. I lock the door. All of a sudden, there's this. Oh man, Henry, we go to bed. You know, get up, open the door. This little 14-year-old girl, right in the room. Hi, what's your name? Sherry. Can I stay here? I know Sherry. Sherry. Finally, I had to give her my bath towel to get her out of there.
Your bath
My
towel.
bath
That
towel
was something to remember him.
to remember me by. I go, bye.
You pop up
But-
with it?
What?
You pop up with it?
No, I didn't pop her with this. No.
We have a morals clause in our contract.
Yeah.
No popping there.
Your image off camera, though, is much different than the fellow you portray on the show,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Actually, when I was younger, when I was in the 50s, I was 13, and if a black leather jacket walked by and said, "Hey, where you going?" I said, "Actually, I'm blind. I was just looking for the door." It's true. I come from a family. My father believes in Spartan mind, Spartan body. So I didn't do much except for stay home, supposedly studying. Actually, I was choreographing West Side Story in my bedroom. But
You were the shortest person to try out
I
for
was
the show.
the
weren't
shortest person. I was one of the last people to try out for the part, and they called me up, and I had contemporarily long hair, a little stubble, you know. And I walked in, and there was a bank of 12 people and 2 wonderful ladies. Hi, ladies.
Don't look
And,
at
and the ladies there, and they said, "Would you read?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't think I'm who you want," you know, because they want a big stalker, you know, and everybody,
Stalker.
yeah, you know, big. Yeah. And so they said, "Would you read?" And I said yes, and I stood up with this fellow, you know, and all of a sudden, Fonzie came out, you know, and I made him sit down. I said, "Just don't give me any grief," you know. Boom.
That was it. You
And
went
the next
right-
day I got the part. It was on my birthday.
Did you think you had the part when you asked?
No, no. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to do a series. The producer then called me up. We had a long talk, and as long as I could make Fonzie a human being, I said fine. And now I work with great guys, and
And
it's
thank
terrific.
God that we have Henry,
Yeah.
because, well, I mean, he's such an important character, and he's brought so much to it, and we learn a lot working together.
And a lot of girls come to the set because of Henry.
Really? Son of a gun. You really turned out to be a stalker, huh? We'll be right back. I think the people in this studio audience would like to ask questions of you. We got a lot of wonderful people out there tonight.
All right.
Look like they're loaded with questions. Who would like to ask the first question of these 4 young men? Young lady in white who just raised her hand up there. Would you stand, please, and identify yourself?
My name is Kay Pratt, and my question is for Henry, who I think is super.
Thank you.
And my question is, do you believe in sex before marriage?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I believe the thing is that being an adult is taking responsibility for your own actions. And if you are of sound mind and body, and you so choose to have a relationship, I mean, what is a physical relationship? It is the logical extension. When you have no more words, you must kiss somebody. And the thing is that I certainly believe in that, yeah. And I don't think it's immoral. I think it is absolutely wonderful.
However, we'll keep the lights up.
Keep those lights up.
Okay, next question,
Turn them
please.
down and that's it.
Yes, miss, right there. Would you stand, please, and tell us who you are?
My name is Bonnie Eric, and I would like to know, is there any one of you that is really in love?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I fell in love in Detroit
A few days ago.
a few days ago.
Right.
Did you really?
I really did.
That's it.
Oh, isn't
It's true. We were in Detroit, and they were doing a fashion show for 17, and we were the guests. And these girls paraded off, and one girl kind of caught my breath, and I grabbed her, and I would not let her go. I brought her down to the autograph party. I brought a chair. I got up the next morning. I spent $21 in a taxi to go to her house to pick her up to bring her back to the hotel for breakfast because I had to go on a plane that afternoon. True.
And is this relationship going to continue?
I hope so.
Yeah, Ronnie's
I
really
have, yes.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
One more.
I have a relationship that is a little longer than Anson's.
42 years.
About almost 4 years ago, I fell in love with a girl in high school. And
They are
I'm
twins.
still in love.
They look
Cheryl
like-
looks
Cheryl Alley.
exactly
They look-
like Ronnie.
Really?
Red hair, freckles, and they both have monkeys for pets. Now you can see that. Bizarre. Really bizarre.
4 years. Very
4 years.
serious then, Ronnie, huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
She's a
she's
fabulous
fantastic.
woman. Fabulous woman.
Okay, Don?
Well, I've been seeing one girl for about 2 years, but you know, I'm in LA and she's in New York. most of the time. I mean, in the past year. For the first year and a half we were together. So we go out with other people, you know, and it's not ready to get really serious, but it's just something longer than the
But
others.
are you in love? The young lady wanted to know if you were in love.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
What's
How
his
about you,
love?
Henry?
Oh, God.
About 10 times a week.
How about the girl who,
I just
the girl who asked you that question?
With the girl in the white outfit. So we're going to get married. She has my life savings. You got it.
Next question, please. Yes, yes. Way up and back. Yes, miss.
My name is Lydia Andrews, and I'd like to know, this question is for all of y'all. Are y'all as good as friends off stage like y'all are on television?
Are you good friends off stage? Is
Well, that's difficult. We are friends, yes, and we work about 15 hours a day in a meat freezer, you know.
15
Well,
hours?
I mean, you start from when you get up and you start to prepare.
But there are a lot of breaks in between.
Very few.
No,
We
very
work
few.
very
very
quick.
fast.
We do
Fast-paced.
3.5-day shooting schedule.
We have a director, Jerry Paris, that keeps our set energized to the point where your teeth tingle. I'm not kidding. He is the reason that we are so terrific.
Plus a cameraman who just moves at such a pace
Yeah,
that he can keep
Dick
up with,
Kelly.
Jerry. And we have no longer than 10 or 15 minutes ever between any
You
shot.
do it before live audiences?
No, we
No,
don't.
you don't.
We don't.
Okay, who would like to be next for questions? I can't, yes, sir.
My name is Louis Patterson, and
Hi,
I
Louis.
would like to address my question to my fellow Leoite.
All right.
Ronnie,
Donnie.
there's so much controversy regarding the quality of education in the lower grades, and since the kids spend so much time in front of the TV, I haven't seen your program yet, your show. Will it ever be a part of it will help to generate more interest in education for the children?
It's a very good question.
I think the show, from my point of view, is pure entertainment, and it's an escape. It's going back to nostalgia. Now, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's fantastic in today's times when things are really hectic, and people like to just look back. As far as will it instigate them to go further into education, I think there's an interesting point because the three of us are in school. Henry is a dropout. So that kind of, a lot of people, you know, at first got a little uptight about that he's a dropout and everything. But the thing is, they make it a point that Henry really has a lot of sense to him. I mean, he really comes to our help. He's got a heart, and he's a very intelligent guy. We always ask for him for the advice. So, you know, I don't think it's bad that he's a dropout, and I think it's
But
overall a good
I'd like
show.
to throw in my 2 bits on this. That's
all right.
Okay.
Because the show takes place in the 50s, I think that people in school will be a little more interested in learning about the 50s. Well, I saw a film a long time ago called How the West Was Won, which was a tremendous film. And suddenly, I started going out and reading about the West and the Civil War, and this is like when I was 8 years old. Up until that time, I couldn't care less about the West, but because I saw a film about it, suddenly I was interested. Now, you don't get much about the 50s in school, but maybe they'll be a little more interested.
Henry, I know
yeah.
you want to add to this.
And I just thought of this yesterday,
Me too.
so I don't know if it has any credence yet. The thing is that parents are always the demigods for the kids. They are always the authority figure. Our show, one thing it has done, it has brought the entire family under one television set.
Right.
The parents say, "Whoa, that's the way it was," and the kids say, "Hey, Dad, is that the way it was?" Now, what happens, it allows the children to see what the history of their parents was. I mean, how, is that clear?
Very clear.
It allows them...
He looked at me to check my age, and he knew it was clear.
No, but it allows the children to see how the parents were not so much different, except for the 50s being a more naive time. The kids have much more information now, you know.
Nancy?
Thanks, Henry. You said it all.
I think we should film what's going on a commercial break.
Just keep it to the right side.
Don't you dare.
Would you feed your houseplants a steak? Well, this man might. He has amassed the largest collection of man-eating vegetation in the world. He's a botanist whose new book, Carnivorous Plants, really gets to the root of the matter.
As I've said before, folks, I only speak the things, I don't write them.
Here is Mr. Randall Schwartz.